All right, so let's cover some very basic techniques. This one we're going to hop in and do a little bit of pinching. So this is really kind of that rudimentary ceramics technique of making a pinch pot. I'm going to start with a lug of clay. Doesn't really matter what size, and you'll see from all the other videos that come out that oftentimes playing around with that shape from the get-go goes a long way. But let's just start off with more or less like a little cone or even a ball. I like to have it tapered just because it makes it a little bit easier, I think, especially when it comes to learning. So I just have one side that's a little fatter, one side that's a rounder, nice little dome. What I'm going to start to do is plunge my thumb in as I rotate the clay around. And as I rotate, I'm just continuing to push my finger in a little bit further until I can feel like I maybe have about a ½ inch left between where my thumb is, right around there, and the bottom of the actual form. Once I hit that resting point, I'm just going to start to apply pressure. And how you apply pressure will dictate how the clay moves. Again, this is a really basic video, and there's a lot of subtleties to it that we'll go over throughout the years. But really what it comes down to is if you apply moderately even pressure from the interior and the exterior, the clay evenly squeezes out around it. If you apply more pressure from the exterior onto the piece, and really your interior is just remaining very still, so it's not applying pressure up, but it's also not allowing itself to get pushed. So as I push down with the exterior, my interior isn't moving, it's providing that resistance. So if I do that properly, what will happen is the piece will continue to grow inward. In other words, that clay will move in. And if I do the reverse of that, which I'll do in 1 second, so we can see here, again, I'm just continuing to apply pressure from the exterior. My interior is being as still as possible and just providing that backing for it. If I do the reverse of that, where I am applying pressure from the interior and the exterior is catching the pressure, that's when we will start to expand the form. In other words, we're going to be moving that material outward. Again, I always want to support that other side as I go and do it, and I always want to rotate it. I always say try to do it with as many small movements as possible when it comes to techniques like this, and over time you'll figure out when you're allowed to be really heavy-handed within your pinching and when you should be more subtle. But the rule of thumb is start off being more minimal, try to be very even with your pressure with each pinch, so don't feel like you have to really muscle anything into place, and experiment with it. And then there are no rules. You know, we just made our very simple basic pinch pot, but if you made the pinch pot that way, we could always flip it back over and maybe try to do some more pinching from the other side if we wanted to pinch out a nice little foot on that guy. But now I'm getting carried away with myself and having fun. So yeah, call that your pinch pot video, little demo, and good enough to get you started.